In the previous video, what we did, we ran the project on the browser. But in this particular video, and moving forward, we are going to be running the project on our physical device. Okay, so if you use Android, you can follow this. This video will help you. If you also use iOS, of course, it will also help you. It's a very similar process. So we need to install Expo on our phone. Okay, so search for Expo Go on your apps, on the App Store, or on Android, on Google Play Store. So you search for Expo Go. So once you see it, install it on in your device. So once you have installed it, then open it. Once you open it up, it looks like this. Click on scan QR code on your phone, then face your phone to this QR code that you can see on the VS Code, as you can see here. So once you do that, it will automatically run it on your phone. It basically installs it on your phone, so it will more or less bind them. So what you see in this browser, you now begin to see it in your phone. So this is how it looks on my phone, as you can see here. So this is my physical phone now. Okay, so it's not the browser that we saw earlier. So here, if I make changes here on the, let's change the background, as you can see, so that it reflects immediately. There's that hot reload. So as soon as I make changes, it automatically refreshes on the phone. So let's continue to use the phone instead of the browser. So whatever I do from now, as you can see by the right, that is my phone. So this is where you have this import. We are importing this component, the status bar. Then we have also importing style sheet, text, and view. Then where you have export default function app, so return. So this is the component that is returning the view, text, and status bar. Okay, it is not everything here that we actually will need. So as you can see, that if I comment this, to comment, you press Control question mark. If I comment that first line, the status bar, and this line 8, status bar style auto, so you see that it doesn't have any negative effect on it. No, because it was just more or less like a template given to us by the React Native. So that's how they are there. So I can practically delete it, and nothing negative will happen. Okay, so what we need here is, however, we need the return. Then we need to export a default function, the app name. Then we now return the view. Whatever it is we want to show on the screen will be inside this return. Then I want to add a button to it. So there's something that is called touchable opacity. So that's like your button in your HTML. So now there's another button you could use, but this one, once you touch it, it gives sort of a feedback. You see that little dim on it when you touch it. You are going to see it in a moment. Okay, so then you need to have a text. It's different from your regular HTML that you just practically add any text within a button tag. But here you need to add a text tag within the touchable opacity tag. So you give it a style. Then of course you're going to be seeing this syntax error here and there because it's auto loading. Okay, so give it a style called, I give it a name, but here I'm giving it a BTN touch me. So it is that BTN touch me I'm going to look for and code it accordingly in the style. So I'll now say BTN touch me. So here I will now say BTN touch me, then create the style. So I'll now give it a background color. See that it looks very much like CSS. So I'll give it a certain background color. Now it's having an issue. The problem is that it needs to be style. We need to have styles.btn touch me here. So that was a mistake. Okay, so then this practically links that to the style at the bottom here. So see that you can see the touch me underneath the hide there. So all right, so then we can give any text on it. We can give it a color, give it a background color on the BTN, which is the button or the touchable opacity that we talked about before. So I'll give it a color. I'll give it a background color, which we purplish sort of color. Then you cannot give it color here, like I gave it FFF like text, but you see that it's not affecting it. But I need to put that color, that text or that color in the text that is within the button or the clickable, the touchable opacity. All right, so then let me put a padding there so that I can have some level of allowance between the text and the body of the button. Okay, so then I give it that. So then we need to change the text on the button. You know that there's a tag there, like I said earlier. So let's go there now. So let's scroll up there. So as you can see this text here, so I can give this one a style. Though I can also change the style, right? I mean the color right there. But I need to change the, give it a specific name called button BTN touch me text. So I'll come here. It's all good to put it in the order with which they appear. So this one should be underneath the other one. So I mean the button. So now say BTN touch me text. So whatever I give it now, that's the color. If I say color, column, then put the command there, then hashtag FFF into 6. So once you do that, then you need to put it in code actually. So you can see that it reflects here. Then you can do all the regular stuff you do, all the regular things you do with CSS. So you now see background and border radius rather, not background. So see border radius just like it is, but this one will not be dash radius, it will not be border, then capital letter radius for the arrow, capitalize the arrow there, I mean the radius, then give it, you don't need to put any unit of measurement on it. Okay, so you can see that how it looks. So if I pad this, as I'm going to give it padding, just like you see in the other one. So this one will give you the 4 corner, the 4 angles, like top, right, bottom, and so on. So if I say border radius 18, you can see that it makes it very rounded at the corners. Then I can give it a width. So the width can be, let's say 80, for example. Then you have to quote it. So if you are giving a unit of measurement like percentage, you have to quote it. So you can see that it's wide, but the text just goes to the left. So you need to now go to the BTN touch me text and text align it to center. Okay, so that's what you have there. Let me just change that padding a little bit. Okay, so then you come here now. So say text align. So text align, then we say center. Okay, so once you do that, so you see that it stays at the center. So you see that it looks cool. I think it looks cool so far. Then of course you can tweak things here and there as you get along. Then later we are going to likely change this text to be, change the background to have a gradient feel. Maybe we'll do that in the next video. But so this is what you have. You can see that it's beginning to look cool. So then we're also going to add event to it much later. So then we'll add the margin between the button and the text on top of it. So now say margin top 9. So that will be the gap between the button and the text on top of it. So as you can see, so if you give it 19, so it goes down more. Alright, so that's basically what you have so far on this. Then you can also give a font size to the text in the button. So the text in the button, so if you look at it, so I'll give it a bigger, like 24. Then the width can make it 60% of the button width. So you can see as I'm touching it on my phone, you can see some sort of feel on it. You can feel the touch right there. Okay, so we can just add a little event on it so that if you touch it, you see a reflection of it in the terminal. Okay, so let's put event on it. So on press equal to, so just console log something so that we can see it at the console area. So now say just type log, that's console.log. Then whatever you type in here will be presented at the terminal when it is touched. Let's touch it. So as it touched, you can see that it's showing it touched me right at the bottom here. So the number of times you touch it is going to be reflecting. So that's basically what you have in this video. I hope this helps you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Like the video and share it. Thank you for watching. See you in another video.